of cost of equity is a more complex issue because there is no fixed return on equity. So no fixed dividends are specified at the time of issue, and hence calculation of the cost of equity becomes a more difficult job. Also, it is not that the firm can forego dividends as such. The investors, the shareholders, they expect dividends, and if they are foregoing dividends, if the company is not giving them dividends, then what they expect is a higher capital gain, an appreciation in the value of their holding in the future. So both ways, it is the company that has to work to meet the expectation of the shareholders, and therefore to calculate the cost of equity, the first approach is that we do so by using the dividend discounting model. So what we are doing, we are trying to see at what rate can we discount, at what rate we discount the future expected cash flows so as to get the current value of the share. Cost of equity under the dividend approach can be calculated depending on the case we have before us. We had started with the case of dividend yield और dividend price approach. उसमें हमने अभी करा था in the last class, how do you calculate the cost of equity for new shares as well as for existing shares. So KE is D1. Always pay attention to the subscript. D1 is the expected dividend. Dividend already paid is D0. What we expect at the end of year 1 is D1. So in the first formula for new equity, it is D1 upon NP. NP is the net proceeds, which are calculated net of flotation cost. And for existing shares, it is D1 upon NP, the current market price of the share. So we had also practiced one question on the dividend price approach. We move to the second approach, which is the dividend plus growth approach. Now, there may be cases where the firm is declaring dividend, and along with the dividend declaration, what you observe is that dividends are growing by a certain rate every year. So, say the firm has paid a dividend of 10 rupees and it is giving you a growth, it is showing a growth of 10% in the dividends every year. So you can expect a rupee 11 dividend at the end of first year. So in this pattern, if you are given the information related to equity shares of a company, then there the cost of equity is D1 upon NP. NP net proceeds will be for new equity shares. If you have existing shares, then we have market price in the denominator. So D1 upon NP plus G. G is the growth rate in dividend. This is known as the constant growth model, and this model can also be used to calculate the current price of the share. So just by moving the values, I can get P0 because this equation for existing shares can be written as this is the constant growth model. where you calculate the price of the share when there, or the cost of equity of the share when there is a constant growth in the stream of dividends. Okay, another thing that you see here is that to apply this model, you need a constant growth rate and your cost of equity should be greater than that growth rate. Only then can you apply the model. So basically, these are the assumptions to the model. Let's move to a question on constant growth rate, then the concept will be more clear. Okay, so the current market price of an equity share is rupees 95. The expected dividend is rupees 5. So this is D1 that is given to you, and the dividend is expected to grow at the rate of 6%. Calculate the cost of equity capital. Also calculate the market price of the share at the end of the year 1 and 2, assuming constant rate of dividend. So P0 is given to you. What you need to calculate in this question is 1, the cost of equity, and then the price of the share at the end of year 1 and price of the share at the end of year 2. So what is the expected price as per the constant growth model? Let's start with the first part of the question. So as already done, KE is D1 by P0 plus G. So you add 6 here, 0.06, so you're getting, or here let's take it in absolute value. यहाँ पे 0.06 ले लेते हैं, कैलकुलेशन इजी हो जाएगी. 5. Okay, so this comes to 11.2%. So the cost of equity is 0.112 or 11.2%. For the second part of the question, we use the formula for calculating price under constant growth model, which was P0 is equal to D1 upon AE minus G. So please have a look. When we have a P0 here, we have a D1 here. So when I need to calculate P1 here, I will need a D2 here upon KE minus G. KE and G we already know. D2 will be D1 1 plus G. So the dividend is increasing by 6% every year. So that comes to rupees 5.30. So this can then be put in the above formula, 5.30 dividend. Put it here in this formula and you will get the value of P1. Please check how much is the value coming to, and also calculate the value of P2, the expected price at the end of year 2. So for the first part, the value will be 101.9. If anyone is getting any other value, please check your calculation. This is coming to 101.9. And please recheck for the second part because I'm seeing different answers here. So is it 108?
Ma'am, for the denominator, if we use uh, ke minus g and the value of up to decimal places like 3 or 4, we'll get the answer 102. If we use like single decimal 0.052, then we get 101.9, and then it depends on the decimal places how many we have.
Decimal places we are using.
Yes, ma'am. That's why the number are varying so much from 100 to 106.
Okay, so that is a lot of variation. You can take up to 2 or 3 decimal places then. Maximum we take is 3 decimal places.
Okay,
So
ma'am. Then
take,
we'll take 101 is the answer.
yeah, take up to 3 decimal places. Don't move beyond that
Okay, ma'am.
because when preparing the answer solutions also, we also take up to 3 decimal places. Okay, 101.9 is then the value expected at the end of year 1, and at the end of year 2, please confirm it is 108.03. Sumit, please recheck your answer. So 108.03 is the answer for the second part. Please complete everyone. We move to the next question. Take 1 more minute and complete. So most of you have got the answer. We move to the next question. So shares of XYZ are currently selling at rupees 170. So this is P0. The company has regularly been paying dividends for the last several years, and you are given the amounts. You are seeing that there is a growth in dividends. You need to find out the growth rate of the company first. You also need to find out the cost of equity of the company. So what we can do is that at a particular growth rate, the dividend has grown from rupees 12 to 16.07. So the calculation of growth rate can be done like this. So in 5 periods, so in 6 years down the line, the growth rate at a particular growth rate, the dividend has increased from 12 rupees at the end of year 1 to 16.07 at the end of year 6. So this is how we try to find the growth rate. Now this is compounding. So just recall, come back to time value of money. 12 rupees is growing to 16.07. So you have a single cash flow which is being compounded at a particular interest rate, and you get 16.07. To find this discount rate, I will go back to the future value interest factor table. Okay, so first calculate this value 16.07 divided by 12. So you are getting 1.339. The next thing I do is that I need to look for this value in the FVIF table. I'll see if I can move to the table here. Okay, so on your screens, you can see the future value interest factor table. Don't, okay, please pay attention here. Now we have 5 years as the time period, and what we have is a value of 1.339. हमें rate of interest नहीं पता. We start moving horizontally and we look for a value closest to 1.339. I think you are getting the exact value here at 6% rate of interest. So which means that our growth rate in this question is 6%. You locate the missing value from the future value interest factor table because you have a single cash flow. Our growth rate is coming to 6%. The next thing required in the question is to calculate the cost of equity. So please calculate, see what is the answer coming to. These are the dividends that have been already paid. So these are the dividends. Please, before you start solving, read the question carefully. ये जो ट्रेंड हमने एनालाइज करा है वो पास्ट पेड डिविडेंड से करा है. So you have calculated the growth rate on the basis of the past paid dividend. Now the last paid dividend was 16.07. So in our question we count 16.07 as D0. Now we need to calculate D1, which will be 16.07 1 plus 0.06. So first calculate D1 and then move to the calculation of cost of equity. Now see how much is the value coming to.
Ma'am, could you repeat? I lost my connection for a second.
The dividend stream which is you are given is already paid. तो ये past dividends हैं जो 6 years के आपको दिए हुए हैं, which means the last year dividend is D0. And for this formula, what you need is D1. D1 upon P0 plus G. So D1 will be D0 into 1 plus G. So your D1 in the formula will be 17.03. P0 is given as 170 and the answer is coming to 16.02. $17.03 divided by 170 plus 6% growth rate, 0.06. So answer comes to 16.02%.
What's the
Anna,
meaning of fixed DP ratio?
the dividend payout ratio,
Yes, ma'am.
you are given that the company is following a fixed DP ratio. इसका मतलब जो growth हो रहा है dividend में वो constant rate पे हो रहा है, constant है dividend. तो हर बारी अर्निंग्स का 50% डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है. तो अर्निंग्स आर आल्सो ग्रोइंग एंड द डिविडेंड इज a fixed percentage of the earnings, but you are not given any earnings here, so don't get confused with this statement. What we surely know after solving is that there is a fixed growth in dividends. What you can assume is कि earnings भी 6% grow हो रही थी और dividend भी 6% grow हो रहा है. Last dividend declared is 16.07. And for the formula, you need expected dividend.
हम अगर यहाँ पे इनकम गिवन होती तो हम उसके हिसाब से 6% निकालते हैं हर राउंड में.
अगर हमें earnings दी होती तो
यस मैम.
yes, वो भी करेंगे हम. वैसे
ओके.
questions भी करेंगे.
ओके.
Okay, next. The share, this is very important, the constant growth model, क्योंकि generally जो question आता है cost of capital calculate करने का, उसमें equity generally is asked as per the constant growth model. So make sure that all the doubts are addressed here. The share of a company, you can start solving this question. We discuss the answers. So for existing equity, the answer is 16%. Simply 4 divided by 50 plus 0.08 will give you the value of existing cost of existing equity as 16%. For new equity, you need to pay 50 paisa on miscellaneous expenses. Okay, so the statement needs to be read very carefully. The merchant banker. Can anyone tell me who is a merchant banker? Who's a merchant banker?
I'm an investment banker.
Yes, investment banker. You can say that the terms are mostly used interchangeably. So, what is the merchant banker doing? What's the job of a merchant banker?
Basically, his or her job is to price that particular asset and put it in the market and showcase to the investors that this is a lucrative investing option, something like that.
Okay, okay. Yes, to a large extent, you are correct. Merchant bankers basically they offer multiple services. One of them, now the multiple services offered by them is that they provide portfolio management and IPO services to their clients. So here in this question, since we are talking about existing equity and then we are also talking about new equity, merchant bankers assist the companies in coming up with IPOs in the market. So all the market survey regarding what is the correct time of issue, what should be the method of pricing, and what like if nowadays if you are following जो भी IPOs आते हैं book building issue पे आते हैं so all these things all the nitty-gritties are managed by the merchant banker. So company is basically outsourcing the entire IPO management to the merchant banker. So for coming up with the new issue, the merchant banker has said that the price of the share now should be underpriced by 1 rupee. So now you need to come up with fresh issue at a lower price. Also, there will be a 50 paisa cost per share on miscellaneous expenses. So your net proceeds will come to 48.5. Rest your growth rate is the same and expected dividend is again the same. You get the cost of equity as 16.24%. 4 upon 48.5 plus 0.08 gives you the cost of new equity as 16.24%. Okay, one last question for the day. Start solving. So in this question, you need to calculate three things. One is the growth rate. Second is the cost of existing equity. And third is the cost of new equity. Okay, so I can see one answer. We'll wait for 2-3 minutes more and then we'll discuss the answer.